Hello and welcome to Knuckle Sandwich MMA. We have one of the biggest fights, if not the biggest fight in UFC history, happening tomorrow night. It's weird because they're in Abu Dhabi, so the time change is all weird. I think they're fighting tomorrow, and it's going to be broadcast in the States, maybe here in the States at 2 p.m., I believe. So it's kind of a weird deal, but hey, we're going to go with it. And based on Dana White's discussion about how it's trending, one of the reporters asked how this was trending, and he said as of Monday it was already surpassing the biggest fight, which was Conor McGregor and Hubby a number of years ago. And so this is going to be the biggest fight in UFC history as far as pay-per-views and how they say it's trending. Sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied, but it's weird because I can't do a Facebook Live today. It's not working with Zoom, so I'm going to pre-record it, upload it, and then bada boom, bada bing. So one of the big things, I just finished watching the weigh-ins, the recap of the weigh-ins, and there's already questions out there. Did Khabib make weight? Now, the way that they weighed him in was very, very strange. It was very fast, probably the fastest scale weigh I've ever seen. It was like he had to take off his shorts. They pulled the towel around him. He put his hands on the two guys holding the towels, and then he lifted his hands up real fast. And as soon as he did that, the dude that was weighing him and doing the weights on it, he slid it back and said, yeah, he got it. Khabib looked really, really relieved, that he made weight. So did he really make weight? Did he miss weight? Who cares? I mean, I care. I do care as far as being professional. And, these guys are professionals and they need to make weight and everything like that. But could you imagine if he missed weight and they can't fight for the belt? Could you imagine? I couldn't. And it's 2020, so anything is possible. But I don't know. It was a little suspect, a little iffy, but we're going to go ahead and push forward because it's going to be a great card nonetheless, okay? We're going to say, for the sake of argument, he made weight and everything is kosher, everything is copacetic, and we're good to go. So let's move on. I want to talk first about the undercard. They've got so much talent on this card. I am super, super stoked for this UFC 254. They've got some great talent. There's going to be some great fights on this card. I kid you not. But we're going to start from the very beginning or very bottom, or the first prelim, and work our way up, of course, like we always do. And then we'll talk a little bit more in detail about the main card, because some of these guys on the undercard, I don't know much about. Okay, so we're just going to let you know who is on the undercard, and then the ones I do know about, I'll tell you. Okay, so we have Joel Alvarez versus Alexander Yokolov, and let me see if I can pull. I got information all over the place here, and I was looking at a betting site, but I don't know if I want to talk about odds as far as betting goes, because I'm just so stoked to talk about this card. So we got Joel Alvarez versus Alexander Yokolov, and then we have Liana Jojua versus Miranda Maverick. We also have Da-Un Jung versus Smiling Sam Alvey. And Da-Un Jung, looking at the face-offs, he's a big kid. So Alvey, I think, has got his hands full. And then we got Cowboy Alex Oliveira versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. Now, I don't know much about Shavkat, but I do know about Alex. And he has come back. He was losing. He was doing really, really well. Then he hit a skid, and now he's starting to do well again. So he said he's going to knock him out. He wants to knock him out, and he's on, I think, a 2-fight winning streak. So let's see what Alex Oliveira brings. And I like him. He's got a great personality. He's a very, very exciting fighter, and I just don't want to. I want to see him, move along, because he's a great fighter to watch. And then we have Nathaniel Wood versus Casey Kenny. Now, Casey Kenny, this dude can wrestle. He's a really good fighter. And he had a quick turnaround from his last bout that he won. And so he's going to be facing off with Nathaniel Wood, and that is going to be fireworks. That one's going to be a really, really good fight. Super excited for that. And then we've got the giant Stefan Struve versus Tai Tuivasa. And this one, man, looking at those guys face off, Struve is huge. I mean, that guy's like 7 feet something. I don't know, but his reach is just incredible. And Tuivasa he's been losing. I think he has to win this fight. I really, really do. I think he's got to win this fight. Struve, I think he lost his last fight too. I can't remember though. I'm not sure. But I know Tai Tuivasa has to win this fight in order to not be cut by the UFC. He's pretty exciting, but he's been on a skid. And so let's see what happens with Stefan Struve and Tai Tuivasa. And that is the main fight on the prelim card. Now let's go ahead and move on up, and we're gonna talk about the main card, and I'm gonna go into a little more detail there. So starting off the main card, we've got Magomed Ankalaev versus Ion Cutelaba, and these guys have been trying to fight for a while, and they keep getting it pushed back for COVID-19 injuries, different things like that. Their first fight, Cutelaba got knocked out like really early. I mean, there was so much hype behind this fight. You know, the face-offs, everything like that was just crazy. Cutelaba wanted to get his hands on him, and Magomed, you know, hit him. But they said, and even Dana White said, that fight was prematurely stopped. That the ref jumped in way too fast and stopped the fight, and so Dana White said, we're going to go ahead and run that back and get these guys to fight again, because he didn't feel that it was a good stoppage at all. And I saw the fight, and I didn't think it was a good stoppage either. I think they stopped it way too early on that, because it was the first round right at the very beginning. And you know, he wasn't knocked stiff or anything like that. The ref just jumped in way too soon, in my opinion. So, but then in the interim, they're trying to, you know, rebook these guys, and one thing after another kept coming up, and they kept pushing it back because, you know, like I said, COVID or something else. I know that Cutelaba tested positive, but now they both weighed in, they both faced off, and everything is great. So these guys are going to fight, and this is going to be a great fight. Now, Magomed is no slouch. He's a mean guy, and just those Dagestanis, they're just tough dudes, man. But Cutelaba, his nickname is the Hulk, he was calm and cool during the face-off, and so I think he just wants to get in there and prove himself. It's going to be a great fight. So let's look at their stats. So Magomed is 13-1-0. Cutelaba is 15-5-0 with one no contest. And Magomed is 6'3", Cutelaba 6'1". They both weighed in at 205 pounds. Both have 75-inch reach, and Magomed has a slight leg reach advantage, 46 inches to Cutelaba's 41 inches. They both have knockout power. Cutelaba is a little bit higher on the percentage-wise. He's got 79% on knockout or TKO to Magomed's 62%. And then Magomed has a higher decision finish, 38% to Cutelaba 7%. So Cutelaba's going to go in there and throw some punches. But again, like I said, neither one of these guys are slouches. They're both great fighters. It's going to be exciting, and it's going to be fireworks. I promise you that. Significant strikes landed for Magomed. It's 3.46 to Cutelaba's 5.24. And percentage-wise, you've got Magomed with 56% accuracy, significant strikes, and to 38% for Cutelaba. And let's see what else we have. Grappling is interesting because Cutelaba, I would think that Magomed would have the higher takedown average, and it's Cutelaba. So Magomed has 0.68% to Cutelaba's per minute, 0.68 per minute, per 15 minutes to Cutelaba's 1.64. Sorry about that, guys. Takedown accuracy, Kudilov is way higher, 66% to 33%. And takedown defense, they're both neck and neck. Magomed is 85% and Kudilov is 80%. So we got a great fight coming up here. So let's move on to the next one. Oh, wait. Who am I going to pick? Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to pick Magomed. I think Magomed's going to finish him again. I don't think the first time was a fluke. I do think the ref stopped it early, but I think he would have eventually finished him anyway. He's got great kicks, and I think Kudilov is more of a grappler and a striker. But Magomed, and if he's got a 4 or 5 inch leg reach advantage, he's going to use some kicks. So I'm going to go with Magomed on this one as the winner. And I think it's going to be TKO or decision. All right, let's move on to the next one. So we have Lauren Murphy back, and she's ranked at number 5 right now. To a brand newcomer, this is Lilia Shakarova. And this is going to be a really good fight because I've known Lauren Murphy. I think her last fight she beat Roxanne Matafari, and it was a good fight too. But Lauren Murphy was just too strong, I think, for her. But she's a veteran, so she's got her record is 13-4-0, and Shakarova is 8-1-0. Again, she's brand new. I think she's debuting with the UFC in this fight, so she's got a lot to prove. She wants to make sure she makes a big splash, especially at Fight Island on the biggest card in the history of the UFC. Come on, guys. Everybody's going to be fighting hard on this card. So we got height 5'5" for Lauren, and they don't have any. She's so new. They don't even have any stats on her, any specs on her. So we're going to just bypass all that because she's too new. There's no information. Everything says 0 and blank on her sheet. So going to be interesting when you don't have stats to look at. But I think that I'm going to go with Lauren Murphy with the win on this one, just because I know her. I've seen her fighting, and she's a veteran. She's got many years in the UFC and in fighting in general. So I think her experience is probably going to win over Shakarova. Shakarova does look pretty yoked. She looks pretty strong, but I'm still going to go with Lauren Murphy on this one. That's weird when they don't have any stats. Next up, on the middleweight bout, we have Jacob Mulcoon versus Philip Haas. And this one, another newbie, Jacob Mulcoon, he's 4-0-0, and Philip Haas is 8-2-0. So this is Jacob Mulcoon's debut fight for the UFC. Again, on the biggest card in the history of the UFC. You're going to bring your best game, guys. Don't lay and pray. Fight your butts off, because it's going to go a long way towards your career. And then, Jacob Mulcoon doesn't have any stats either because he's brand new. It's weird. How come they don't have stats? They should have stats on these guys. So Philip Haas, he's got a 75% TKO rate and 25% sub. But that's it. There's nothing else to talk about with these guys. So I'm going to go with Megatron Philip Haas, just because he looks just from the look of it, he looks very strong, and he apparently has more experience. So I'm going to go with him, even though we'll see what happens. I think this Jacob Mulcoon, they brought him on Fight Island for the biggest card for a reason. So I think he's probably going to be a pretty exciting fighter, but I'm still going to go with Philip Haas. We'll see what happens. My last picks were not that great. All right, let's move on. Ooh, we got a heavyweight bout coming up. Now we got Alexander Volkov, Drago, versus the big ticket Walt Harris for heavyweight. And this one is going to be a really, really good fight, I think. Both are exciting fighters. And I do believe that Walt Harris lost his last fight. But let's go over their records. So Volkov is 31-8-0, and Walt Harris, as far as their fight records, is 13-8-0. So Volkov has way more experience, and he's a big dude too. They're both big guys. So Volkov is 6'7", and Walt Harris is 6'5". That's not bad. Both weigh in at 250. And then the reach for Volkov, he's got a 3-inch reach advantage at 80 inches to Walt Harris is 77 inches. And then leg reach, almost identical, 47.5 inches for Volkov to 47 inches for Harris. So they're pretty evenly matched there as far as that goes. TKO and KO, Walt Harris has 100%, and Volkov has 67%. Volkov also has 10% for subs and 23% on decisions. So somebody's getting knocked out in this fight. I don't think it's going to go to a decision. I think somebody's getting knocked out or submitted. Significant strikes. We've got Volkov with 6.19 to Walt Harris's 2.96. Quite a difference there. And then significant, or that's landed per minute, excuse me. Landed per minute. So Volkov is a busier fighter, obviously. Significant strikes, 59% for Volkov to 38% for Harris. And then absorb per minute, 3.3 for Volkov to 2.68 for Harris. So that's comparable. And then defense, they're right there neck and neck, 58% for Volkov and 61% for Harris. Grappling, Volkov has a per 15 minutes, one takedown per 15 minutes to Harris is 0.35. So if it goes to the ground, it's going to be Volkov taking Harris down, it looks like. And takedown accuracy, he's got a good takedown accuracy at 75% for Volkov, 33% for Harris. And takedown defense, they both are neck and neck for takedown defense at 76% each. All right, so who am I picking here? Oh my goodness, this is a tough one. This is a really tough one for me to pick because it has nothing to do with liking one over the other. Their fighting styles are obviously different. You can tell by the stats and specs I just watched or just read to you. But I think Harris has something to prove. He's on the biggest ticket. They're both on the biggest ticket, right? But he lost his last fight, so I think he's got something to prove. And I'm going to go ahead and pick the big ticket on this one. I'm going to pick Harris on this one here as the winner. All right, now it's my dog in the background. Okay, we're going to move on up to our co-main event. And well, it's not the co-main event. It's not the title fight, though. It's the middleweight bout, Robert Whittaker versus Jared Cannonier. This one is going to be a fantastic fight. And this one is going to promise us to have some fireworks. And I don't think it's going to decision. So let's check it out. Let's delve deep into this one. Jared Cannonier is, they call him the Killer Gorilla. And then we've got the Reaper, Robert Whittaker, who is the ex-champ. He's the #1 contender. And Jared Cannonier is #2. So you can't get any more than that. The winner of this one is going to face Israel Adesanya. And Robert Whittaker lost to Adesanya, so he's got something to prove. And he has had a great camp based on his previous videos and the embedded videos. And then Cannonier, he's a beast, man. So these guys are going to be slinging leather, hard leather. Let's go over their records real quick. Robert Whittaker is at 22-5-0. Jared Cannonier is at 13-4-0. So obviously Robert Whittaker has a little bit more experience there. Height is Whittaker at 6 feet even to Cannonier's 5'11". And then we've got their weight at, wow, there's a big difference in weight here. Robert Whittaker at 185, Cannonier 205. That doesn't make any sense. There's something wrong there. That's not right. They got to be, this isn't a catch weight fight, I don't believe. No, it's not. It's not a catch weight fight. So that's wrong somehow. All right, but the reach is for Whittaker, he's got 73.5 inches, and Cannonier's got 77.5 inches. So Cannonier's got a 4-inch reach advantage. over Whittaker. And then leg reach, we've got Whittaker at 43 inches and Cannonier at 41.5 inches. So that was pretty comparable. Let's look at wins by KO, TKO. Cannonier at 69% and Whittaker at 45%. And then submissions, we've got Whittaker at 23% to Cannonier's 15%. And then for decisions, we got Whittaker's 32% to Cannonier's 15%. Average fight time, Whittaker has had a lot more battles, a lot more wars. So does he have a glass jaw? Does he have a, when you've gone through longer wars, average fight time for Whittaker is 12 minutes and 20 seconds. As for Cannonier is 8 minutes, 28 seconds. So Cannonier is finishing his fights a lot sooner, because that's a lot of minutes, especially when you're in big wars like Whittaker is. And let's see, let's look at significant strikes landed per minute. 4.82 for Whittaker, 3.62 for Cannonier. Significant strikes overall, 40% for Whittaker to 51% for Cannonier. I think Cannonier has, it's hard to say he's got more power because I've seen, it's hard to weigh the two, because Whittaker has longer fights, but he does have huge knockout power, and Cannonier has really good knockout power too. So that one is hard to really decipher. But as far as absorbed strikes, absorbed per minute, Whittaker does take more strikes, and that's obvious, 3.65 to Cannonier's 2.76. And defense, pretty comparable. Whittaker 61% to Cannonier 67%. Grappling, Whittaker's way up at 0.37. So that's takedowns per 15 minutes to Cannonier 0.2. And then we got takedown accuracy, Whittaker 57% to Cannonier's 33%. Takedown defense, Whittaker is overshadowing Cannonier by 84% to 44%. So there you go. Who am I picking for this fight? You're going to be surprised, but I'm going to go with Cannonier on this one. I think that he wants it more, and I think, I'm pretty sure that Israel Adesanya, he's already said he'd like to fight Cannonier since he already beat Whittaker. So let's see, but I'm going to go with the Killer Gorilla, and we'll see what happens. But I think it's not going to go to decision. I think it's going to be a knockout. All right, now we are on to the main fight of the evening, and there is much anticipation for this fight. Much anticipation. The pay-per-view sales have gone off the charts. In fact, I'm going to give you a little bit of information that I found. So I was talking to my grandson about the UFC and the worth that it has now. 6 years or 4 years ago, I believe in 2016, they sold the UFC, to the current owners for $4.1 or $4.2 billion. Everybody said how ridiculous it was and all that stuff. And so I did a little research to see, because, there's so many people that, they want somebody else to run the UFC, not Dana White. He's got a lot of haters, and he's got a lot of supporters, but he's got a lot of haters too. And so I just kind of wanted to see what the UFC is worth now. And astonishingly, it is worth over $7 billion now. So if you're making, if you sold it for 4.1, 4.2 billion, and now you're over 7 billion, you've made $3 billion in 4 years. Somebody's doing something right. Somebody's doing something right, and that's just huge. That's massive amounts of money in 4 years, especially that it took them 20 years to get to the 4 billion, and now they're doing it in 4 years. That just shows you how big the UFC has gotten. And I think that the pandemic has not hurt them at all. I think it's helped them, and I think it's helped their numbers immensely. And then this fight here, as we're going into it, is going to help it immensely. So You've got Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Justin Gaethje, the highlight, versus the Eagle. Now, everybody knows Khabib is undefeated. He is 28-0-0. And is he 28-0-0 or is he 29? I thought he was trying to make no. We're going to go with this. I'm flying up the handle here. So 28-0-0 to Justin Gaethje's 23-2-0. And Justin Gaethje just came off a huge win by just manhandling and beating Tony. He just beat him up, man. He beat him up badly, and that fight should have been stopped, sooner than it was. And then, so he's had a fight more recently than Khabib, and Khabib's been waiting. And Khabib had lost his father, and a lot of people are saying, is that going to bring, is that going to come into this fight, not having his father in his corner? I don't believe so. I think Khabib is very disciplined. I know he and his father were uber close to each other, and his father was a great coach. And I know that they were very, very close. But I believe that Khabib is a very disciplined fighter, and I believe that he had a fantastic camp, and he's going to bring his very, very best. Now, on the other hand, we have Justin Gaethje, and Justin Gaethje is this dude's not fooling around. He wants that belt. He wants to be the champ. After he beat Ferguson, he had his eye on the gold, and that's what he wants. And he's just a vicious, vicious fighter. He's starting to fight a lot smarter than he used to. He used to go in there and just have slugfests. And even with Michael Johnson almost knocked him out. He rocked him like a couple of times. But Justin Gaethje is so tough, he came back and beat him, and then just started going on this roll. And but what he did to Tony Ferguson was just, he just outclassed him. And I'm a huge Ferguson fan, but I'm a huge Gaethje fan too. So it was a really great performance on Gaethje's part, and he's got wrestling skills. Like Khabib. And during one of the interviews, Justin said, if he gets me against a cage, I'm probably toast. Because that's where Khabib does his best work, his ground and pound, and uses that cage as an extra arm, an extra leg or whatever, but he knows how to do it properly. But Justin Gaethje has some of the most vicious leg kicks in the game, if not the most dangerous leg kicks. He'll kick your legs off, man. He did it to Edson Barboza, and Edson Barboza's got horrible, terrible, horrific leg kicks. When he kicks you, you know it. And then Justin Gaethje, outkicked him. So he said that he's going to bring leg kicks into the game, and his striking I believe his striking is better. Khabib has got great striking, make no mistake about that. He does have great striking, but he's going to rely, he said he'll take Justin Gaethje down 100 times if he has to. And so Gaethje is going to have to defend that takedown, at the same time weakening Khabib's legs with leg kicks and punches. So he's going to have to do quite a bit. I think the biggest thing for Gaethje is he can't be overwhelmed by the aura of Khabib, because I think a lot of people get shell-shocked when they get in the octagon and they close the door. They're just like, where am I? Who am I? And why am I here? They just get overwhelmed. But I don't think Gaethje is going to fall for that, just because he's got a lot of experience, tons of experience. So before I tell you my pick, I'm going to go through some of their specs here, their stats. So the height is Khabib is 5'10", Justin Gaethje is 5'11". They both weighed in at 155. If you're going to take that weigh-in, that was a really weird weigh-in, but we're going to go with it. Reach identical, 70 inches each, and leg reach identical, 40 inches each. Can't get any better than this, you guys. Wow. Wins by TKO and or KO or TKO. Nurmagomedov 29%, to Justin Gaethje's 86%. So Justin Gaethje finishes people by knockout. He's a knockout artist. Submissions, 36% to Khabib, to 5% to Justin. And decisions, 36% to Khabib, to 9% for Justin. Average fight time, Khabib 13 minutes 56 seconds to Justin's 10 minutes 11 seconds. And let's talk about significant strikes landed per minute. 4.29 for Khabib and 7.74 for Justin Gaethje. Significant strikes overall is 49% for Khabib to 59% Justin. And then absorbed per minute. So Justin takes a lot more punishment. He's kind of like, you know, he's taken a lot more punishment. Let's see. He's kind of like Robert Whittaker in that realm, but he's tough. Khabib takes 1.7 per minute to Justin's 8.37. So that's what Justin said he wants to do. He wants to make Khabib feel pain, and he's used to pain, so that's not his concern. He wants to see how Khabib reacts to pain. Defense, we've got 66% for Khabib to 54% for Justin. Grappling is all Khabib. It is 5.09 for takedowns per 15 minutes to Justin 0. Takedown accuracy, 44% for the grappling for Khabib, and takedown defense, they're both approximately the same, 84% for Khabib to Justin's 80%. So that's going to be a great fight. And now comes the moment of truth. Who do I choose to win this fight? Now, I always do if it goes to the ground, Khabib is going to win this fight. If it stays on the feet, Gaethje is going to win this fight, definitely. But Khabib will take it to the ground. Can Gaethje scramble? Can he do transitions to get out of positions? I think he can because of his amazing wrestling background. And I think that that's going to be the deciding factor right there. Khabib will take him down. Can Justin scramble and transition out of those positions? Can he keep it in the middle of the cage? Probably not. He's probably not going to be able to keep it in the middle of the cage. However, if he can still scramble out, I think that that will be the deciding factor. And the leg kicks will also be a deciding factor. I'm going to go with Justin Gaethje on this one. I think Gaethje is going to pull out the win. It's 2020. That's all I can say. I think Justin Gaethje is going to pull out the win. So there you go, guys. That's my report for UFC 254. Super stoked for this card. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be a lot of great fights. There's a lot on the line for everybody. And then I think after this fight, then they bring it back to Las Vegas with more great cards before the end of the year. But this fight, if you're not going to get it, you should get it. All right. All right, you guys, that's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Knuckle Sandwich MMA, you'd help me out a lot. And hopefully I'm helping you guys out with some of my insights. All right, you guys, we're done for the day. Have a good weekend. We'll see you after the fights for the post UFC 254 Khabib versus Gaethje post show. All right, you guys, keep punching.